Hello everyone, welcome to Liberebil. Welcome to a new video here on Liberebil. Very special car, VW Golf 3 VR6. This one has an incredibly special story. It is essentially in immaculate condition for its mileage. The paintwork is beautiful, the tires are exceptional, the headlights are all intact, everything is intact on this Mark 3 VR6. But before I tell you more, please thumbs up, subscribe and enjoy the video.
Keep me closer, don't need clothes.
Let's start here at the front of the Mark 3 VR6. This is an executive model. Not much has been changed from this car's styling over the GTI, but it did receive VR6 badging up front. You still got your spotlights here, which are extremely rare nowadays. Also your indicators on the side, and at the bottom you got some ducting, which, you know, and the VR6 common. Remember the VR6 lip and everyone used to fit on their Mark 1 Golfs? This is where it started. This is the VR6's party piece. It's 2.8 litre 12 valve V6 engine. VW, instead of giving this car a normal V6, gave it a VR engine. That means the cylinders are arranged in a V, and the R in German is Reitner, I think. I can't pronounce it now. That means inline. So it uses one block, all the pistons in one block and one cylinder head, not two banks of cylinders, and two camshafts. It doesn't need four camshafts like a quad cam on a dual bank V8 system with like a 90-degree V8, for example. This is essentially more or less an inline VR engine. This isn't the most powerful iteration of the VR6. They came in 3.2 in the R32, they also came in 3.6 and also 3.8 if I'm not mistaken in Porsche's Cayenne. But it's a lovely engine, super smooth, sounds like absolute heaven of creaminess. The intake system's also quite trick on these cars. Just overall a really interesting engine. And just so by the way, if you think 1J, 2J and RB is impressive, search videos on turbocharged VR6s. These things make 1100 horsepower and upwards and run 8s on the quarter mile with all-wheel drive and a bolt engine. These are phenomenal engines. They have issues because of the intense heat under the bonnet, like the owner was also explaining to me. The plug leads like to go. I know these cars also have a bit of issues with the modules and also air leaks because of the complicated intake system. But other than that, they tend to be pretty solid motors. The other thing to look out for is their timing chain sit by the gearbox. So oftentimes guides and things like that, you need to take the gearbox out in order to replace those things on that side of the engine. The side of the VR6 gets interesting because these mushroom 15-inch wheels are the iconic wheels that this car came with here in South Africa as well as overseas. And seeing the original center caps on them makes my heart warm. This is a beautiful example of a VR6. I even love the way these indicators are smoked. Unfortunately, on the other side, this cap here was stolen. You also have a VR6 badge here denoting that's a VR6. And I just love this car. The dimensions, the iconicness, the South African like heritage that this car has here is things to also be aware of. On the rear of the VR6 is the VR6 badge on the right hand side and the VR6 mud flaps, which is there in front. They have VR6 written on them as well. But I mean, look at the condition of this car. This is the original exhaust system, by the way, and it sounds fantastic. Rear seat is quite okay. This car is in a tall person seating position, and I must say it's not the biggest car. New cars are much modern. Even the headroom here at the back is also actually quite nice, even though this one has the sunroof which does creep into headroom. It's quite a comfy place here at the back. I really do like it. Again, overall, this is just such a nice car. You've got a little ashtray here in the center. Your door, you've got electric windows, a woofer here in the door, no tweeter up here. I think these cars came with better sound systems overseas. Yeah, very nice. I think it's time to check out the front. This is where things get also very, very interesting. Look at these little slots for your cassettes here at the bottom. That is so nice. The gear lever, the boot runs all the way to the knob on top. Very strange. Air conditioning works on this car. It was fully rebuilt. All the air vents work. I have a radio here, Volkswagen Gamma radio by the looks of things, with treble bass and whatnot. It's a cassette player. I don't think there is a CD, so there must be a shuttle somewhere in this car. But okay, I'm not going to open that as the owner's car. This over here, if I'm not mistaken, is your rear windows? Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Your rear windows are over here, not on this door. Like on the driver's side door, like you find in many other cars. You've got the window. This is to lock the rear window, so I'm not opening and closing. You have a sunroof as well. And on this car, you also have the this nice leather seats. Oh, and look at the cluster. This probably looks like, doesn't look like the, I don't know if this was a regional cluster, but the fonts don't look right for me. But I mean, this got the dual airbags, like I said, because this is an executive model, so a late model car. But everything inside here looks and feels excellent. So yeah, oh, I can't wait to drive it. Overall, what are your thoughts on the design of the VR6 Mark III? Have you had any experience in the past? Do you love the sound of this car? Please comment down below how you feel about this car. Because I can be quite frank with you, I adore this thing. It's one of my favorite cars of all time. This specific one, I'm super honored to actually get to drive up Franschhoek Pass. Hey. So really excited to get behind the wheel and see what this car. Every time a car drives past, I keep getting disturbed. So really excited to see what this thing drives like and what the overall impression is like of a really neat VR6 with original suspension. Right, ladies and gentlemen, what is the VR6 like to drive? And what does this car ultimately feel like? The Mark III had a rough, how do one say, a rough love around the world. It wasn't known as the most sprightly Golf around, but I think the VR6 engine had more than enough character to soften the hatred for the Mark III Golf. This engine sounds phenomenal, as you can probably hear. And this car is owned by an extremely passionate owner who's owned 4 of them. And this is the one that he loves so much. We've got sunroof in here, we've got this lovely engine, comfortable seats, excellent weighted pedals, hydraulic steering wheel which has some pretty decent feel coming through it. We will step the pace up a bit as we continue over Franschhoek Pass. I don't want to put my foot down going uphill in these cars. It's quite hot today and the temperature does cause a bit of pinging on these engines. Typical case in point with the VR6. You can already hear this engine just purring away. One of the neatest VR6s I've driven in my lifetime, and it's not bad, let me put it to you like that. I love it. Oh my word, I love this car. As a kid growing up, you know, 325 IS VW VR6 was one of the 2 great cars of my time. And as you guys know, I currently own a CLK 63 AMG, which I truly adore, and I share the same sentiment that I do with that car that I do with this car. I didn't buy my CLK because of the speed or whatever, because it's not the quickest car in the world, but it makes one of the most beautiful sounds around, and the same can be said for the VR6. A Mercedes' M156 is an astonishing engine, and the VR6 engine is, I share the same words, it is a stunning piece of design. You know, it might not be known as the quickest thing around, but the way the engine makes you feel, I think, is spectacular. There's a buck in front of us, so we'll wait till he... I don't think it's a part of this road where we can pass him, but we'll see. I know there in front there is a road. So yeah, I don't want to go too hot into corners, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know this guy, the owner's car, too well, but so far so good. This car steering rack, the suspension, what I can feel, the tie rod ends and rack ends feel really tight on this car. Really tight on this car. And the thing is, when a car gets old like this with 276,000 plus kilometers on, the rear end bushings, they aren't as stiff as what they used to be. So you'll find when you come off the throttle, the rear end will start rotating on you a bit more than what would be normal when the car's newer, because the rear end isn't as secure as what it was when it was new. But yeah, so far so good. First key. Excellent. I don't think you get a better noise from a V6, to be honest with you. I was recently in a Porsche Cayenne with a 3.8 V6, the same engine design, also VR6, and it had that same induction sound that this has. This, you'll hear it now, that type of sweet texture sound that you just don't get. Oh wow, and the pace of this little car I also enjoy. Look guys, on Liberebil, you guys have seen there's M5 comms. Like, we drive stupid cars and stupid fast cars on this channel. I was recently in a R8 V10 performance that we pushed around Franschhoek Pass, and in a few turns we actually got the car to misbehave a little. I'm not gonna do that with this car. It's not my car. So if you comment down below, yes, why did you drive the car faster? I can't. This car is worth, like, in this condition, someone would pay this owner well over 200,000 rand, well over 300,000 rand. I mean, neat cars like this fetch stupid money in South Africa. This car sounds so sweet, and it's the original exhaust. Right though, so now I need to make a call out for anyone who has a modified VR6. So that would be one of the exhausts, maybe lowered and maybe like just a bit modified, so I can feel what the car feels like with a bit of modern touches to it. So that brings me to the end of the VR6 video. My gear unfortunately had overheated. I'm having a huge problem in Paul lately where iPhones, GoPros, the stuff just overheat like crazy and stop recording. So I had to come home and now make the conclusion of the video here. So thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this VR6. Again, this was a more detailed, in-depth look of the VR6. The next video is the wild one where we do outside pools and things like that. This was just basically an introduction into what a clean VR6 is like, and I am very impressed. So yeah, let's get a modified one on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you will enjoy the video. Sorry that the video was cut short like so abruptly now, but unfortunately I need to work on this whole temperature thing in Paul. I'm gonna take screenshots of you guys of like what's been happening. So yeah, the next thing we're doing on Liberebil is the Johannesburg tour. So very excited for that. There aren't gonna be much uploads now in January because I plan to go to Johannesburg for 5 days. So yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Be free, be you. Liberebil out.